Hi, this is Dana, and on this channel I speak about spiritual warfare. I have another channel on astrology and a Facebook page on prophetic writings, which I invite you to read. There are a number of doppelgangers and copycats and all sorts of individuals who try to copy my identity. Please disregard them. They are under divine punishment and under investigation in 3D. Now, for the topic of this video, God has guided me to share with you one piece of information which I think it was important. I'm not sure that I mentioned it so far. I learned it partly from Vishnu and partly from God Himself, namely, what is the ultimate test before you switch timelines? So you will have to increase gradually your energy awareness and ability to fight back attacks. Yeah, that will be a first stage. Maybe not first, but it will be initial stage. But the most important phase is when you master both your energy awareness, your energy control, you heal yourself, and you learn how to fight back. When you have done all of this, then you will be able to withstand attacks without being bothered. Like many tarot readers say, being unbothered. This is the ultimate test. God, actually, in God's words, when I kept asking, how long does it take? How long we still do this? How long? God said, until they are not able to trigger you anymore, until they are not able, no matter what they do, what type of attack they send your way, you will be centered and you'll be grounded, and they cannot bother you, basically. And this phase, God has shown to me that is important because you break bondage with those who created bondage on you. You deliver karma, right? And then you move to a new timeline. But the convents will not disappear instantly. They will continue to send the same attacks to you. So when you move in a new timeline, it is important that they are not able to reach you anymore. Otherwise, if they can reach you and they can trigger you, they will do body jumping and they will follow you in the next timeline. And it will be very difficult that you go in a new timeline, a new level, a new devil, like it's being said, new type of attacks, basically, that you have to encounter. And you also have to face old type of attacks which you are not done with them yet. It is part of gaining authority, basically, and is part of closing a timeline in order to move into the new timeline. Yeah, so you can actually focus on whatever the new timeline brings to you. Yeah, for this reason, there will be a time when you will go through different tests. The same individuals who are under punishment from God and from the 3D will keep sending the same attacks to you. But it's important that you pass this test, namely that they cannot reach you in any way, shape, or form. They cannot trigger you. That is very important. Personally, this is the message from God. But personally, my own perspective over this and my own perception over this is that also God, I have been observing God in this period of time when you are under these tests of being unbothered. God is also aiming, and actually God shared this with me, because I kept saying, why we keep doing the same thing all over again. And God showed me, because I want this one to understand that what he's doing, it's pointless. It's foolish, it's pointless. He doesn't go anywhere with this. And basically, he's just adding karma to himself. So God has his own agenda with other individuals involved, which are under punishment and under divine justice. But again, as I said in other videos, the divine punishment is not just a revenge. It's basically to teach them lessons. One of the lessons which I've seen God very keen on delivering is to learn to respect the chosen ones, the ones who God chose. Because God has this determination is that if I chose somebody to do an assignment, I will not allow that other individuals will disrespect that individual or my choice, because I chose this one and I gave this assignment to this one, and that individual will be respected as a sign. Sorry, this is the doppelganger next to me who's sending attacks when I speak on video. So God says the respect for me is shown by respecting the people I chose to carry on my word or my fight. So God will insist on proving to them that whatever they do, it's pointless, and that they cannot reach any kind of outcome. I must say to you also that I observed God somehow with pride going through these stages, and literally sort of like bragging about his children. Like, you see how much my child evolved and learned. I went through a spiritual attack, a surprise attack in 2019, just before I left on my spiritual journey. And I remember that I was very angry, and I kept saying to God, why don't you stop them? Because this is just a lie which they use in order to send these attacks to me. I don't want to go through this again. I already went through this last year. That's enough. And basically God said this will be a lesson to them. And I literally watched God, how he was so proud, every time when I would dismantle everything they would send to me. So I literally watched him. I was not that pleased, honestly, because I said this is silly also on your behalf, because I don't want to go through this. But this is when God said, Dana, it's important to teach them lessons. They need to understand something. It's not just about winning and moving on. This is part of the legacy which you are supposed to leave behind you through your spiritual fighting. They need to understand that on one hand, what they're doing is not successful. It's silly and it's a deception, and they have been deceived. On one hand, they need to see you how you evolved, and they need to understand that they can evolve as well if they choose the right path. But they are on the wrong path, and they are doing the wrong thing. They are disrespectful to you, they are disrespectful to me, and they are doing harm onto other people and on you. So I will not allow this to carry on, and I want them to learn this lesson. So basically, these were God's words. This will be a lesson to them. They need to learn this lesson, and they need to be taught respect. They need to respect, because even the dark forces respect the chosen ones. They are lower than the dark forces from hell, which actually respect God's choice, and those who actually God chose and anointed to carry on specific tasks and assignments. So for this reason, there will be a time, I'm saying this, God showed me to say this, particularly for those who, like me, will ask how long this takes. This is for you to understand that there are different stages and different agendas which God has, and some of them are lessons for you and tests for you, but at the same time, they are lessons for them, for those who send those attacks, because they need to learn this lesson. And also God showed to me, he said there are not so many people that actually put up enough spiritual fighting, or they win enough wars. We need to take advantage of each one who actually succeeds in this, and you have done tremendous evolution, and we need to take advantage of your evolution to teach them lessons. It's not only about punishing them. The punishment itself, it's also supposed to be a lesson, but they also need to learn other lessons and to see how stupid the practices which they learned are, because they're only deceptions. So Basically, this is the message God asked me to deliver at this point. So people will understand that when you enter this phase of transition into the new timeline, before you receive your rewards and you take back what you won through your own spiritual fighting and your own spiritual work and evolution and upranking, you must assist God in this phase and pass your own tests in order for them to see and in order for them to learn. And also, I must say that sometimes God also wants to humble them. You can even say it to humiliate them, because God feels offended when the ones who God chose to carry on a specific task have been repeatedly, constantly, for many, many years taken advantage, mocked, insulted, aggressed, traumatized, and so on and so forth. God, actually, I can see him how he suffers for specific people. And then also there are certain different type of agendas which God has, and I will say one more, which I have seen. For example, with the doppelganger, I said that God has a specific agenda with the doppelgangers because they do harm on many levels. On one hand, they do harm onto one whom they copy. So the doppelgangers who copy me, they do harm onto me. But then they do harm also on the individuals with whom they work, which usually are males, and which normally should have been spiritual fighters standing with God and fighting next to God. So basically, the doppelgangers are the ones who actually, as far as I've seen, annoy God the most. And he has specific type of agenda with them. And I will give you one example with one of the doppelgangers here who keeps attacking me. She's actually attacking me now as I speak. She unfortunately is way too close to my property, and she gets to do all this harm. And God showed me with this one, I have one specific plan. And the plan is that she reached a certain point of notoriety within these occult circles of convents in doing harm unto others. She succeeded to trick many of them even within the convents. And basically God said, I want my boys who were tricked by her to basically throw her out, because they are the ones who actually gave her power. And I at that point in time, I was like, this is a silly ambition which you have. I want this to be over. Just punish her, take her away, because I'm wasting time with her. And I don't understand this silly thing. And basically, God has shown to me, this is part of their redemption. I cannot take that chance away from them. If they don't do this, there is no redemption for them. This woman has been doing harm unto them in many lifetimes. And if I take this chance away from them, they will have no chance to redeem themselves, no matter what they do. So for this reason, it is my determination that they will be the one to actually punish her for all the harm she has done, not only onto you, but all the harm that she's done onto them, also tricking them to do harm to you, and so on. So you see, there's many dimensions into this phase of transitioning from one timeline to another, and also within the divine punishment, which must be very complex and take in consideration everyone involved, not just the one who won, but so many others who are have been involved in this and doing harm onto many others. Yeah. So This message basically is in order for those who are carrying spiritual fighting to know that there is a stage in which you must have patience because basically you only have to withstand those attacks. That's your only job. And you have to just stay grounded and wait for God to finish his business with the other individuals involved. And and let me just say something God is showing to me to say that your transition into the next timeline is not conditioned by all the others closing their karmic cycles. It will be your transition to a new timeline will take place in divine timing after you pass those tests and you taught those lessons, or at least God will teach those lessons through you withstanding those attacks. So it will not be your job to actually go and teach them lessons anymore. It will be God's job. And you will transition into the new timeline because you won. Nobody can take that away from you. Even if they continue to do the same attacks endlessly, at some point there is a separation and you will transition into the new timeline, and you will be relocated if they continue to do the same thing, or they will be relocated, or as God has shown to me, some of them will literally die. I am telling you this honestly. God has shown to me that some of them will literally die because they simply insist on working with darkness, even when they see that their body is being affected by the type of darkness which they take upon themselves. And they keep trying to transfer those dark forces onto us, which at some point basically is being returned continuously. They will die, some of them. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Again, your transition to the new timeline is not conditioned, but God will use your victory to the maximum extent possible to teach as many lessons as possible. And he will make sure that you will be rewarded for all the assistance you have given him.